am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Silly Jedi! Silly Jedi!
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello there.
At last! Where have you been?
Nice of you guys to drop by.
Ah, good. New acquisitions.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this.
Good morning, everybody. It's Jedi Toy Masters Star Wars Card Talk. I'm Maurice. And if you're watching us right now, man, all you see is just a blinding light. It's as if I'm driving into Cloud City just as the sun comes up. Or maybe it's the twin suns on Tatooine that are just aligned one behind the other, and it's just magnified. But anyway, that's if you're not watching, then you're listening, and I thank you for listening, because you're probably listening wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Anchor or Spotify or iTunes, Apple Music. I don't know if it's not even called iTunes anymore, but anyway, if you are listening through an Apple podcasting app of some kind, Apple Music podcast app, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed any of these episodes, I would recommend that you write a nice little review on the old iTunes, on the old Apple format, and just say, hey. Anyway, even if you leave me a bad review, I think any news is good news, because it means that somebody's watching. And you know what? Even a critique could help. But anyway, I'm Jedi Toy Masters here, and this is Star Wars Card Talk, the podcast, the only podcast that I know of that is about Star Wars, although I do sometimes deviate and talk about other things. But we talk Star Wars, and we drive in a car. We're driving in a car talking Star Wars. That's the name of the show, Star Wars Card Talk. I don't know if you came on here thinking we were going to talk about maybe some custom cars that are made to look like Star Wars vehicles, maybe Hot Wheels Star Wars cars. No, I mean, although those are very cool, we might get to those. But this is Star Wars Card Talk. This is me and doing my Star Wars therapy in the car, driving while the morning sun is blazing into my face. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe and comment below. Have you ever had to drive with the sun blasting in your face? And if so, do sunglasses or the little shade thing in your car, do they even help? I can't pull my little shade thing down because it's going to cover the camera. But, that's the price you pay for show business, people. Anyway, speaking of show business, oh boy, last week we got a real treat over at StarWars.com and basically all over the internets and YouTubes. We got the trailer for the Boba Fett series, the Book of Boba Fett, coming out December 29th. I mean, that's crazy. We are less than 2 months away from watching the Book of Boba Fett. Watching a live action, let's put this into perspective. We're going to be able to see a live action television show done cinematically about Boba Fett. And the man playing Boba Fett, I always butcher his name, Tamir Morrison. Oh man, I'm butchering his name. But he played Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones way back in 2002. He also played some of the clones, and voiced some of the clones in Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones, respectively. But also in Revenge of the Sith, we see his face as a clone in 2005. Then he came back to be Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, and now he's basically headlining a show about Boba Fett, and he's Boba Fett, and this is amazing. Utterly amazing. The man, the myth, the legend, Boba Fett. We thought he took a smack to his jetpack, crashed into the sail barge, made the Wilhelm scream, and just flippity flopped into the belly of the Sarlacc. But we were wrong. Although those of us that follow the now legends stories of Star Wars know that he did survive, and there's stories to be told there. But I just think this is so interesting. There was a time when Star Wars was first back. We were excited. We were going to get new Star Wars movies every year. We were going to get an episode movie and a standalone Star Wars story film. It was so cool. We got Rogue One. It was so cool. I remember that teaser for Rogue One, which was such a teaser because it wasn't even like I don't know if you guys remember that Comic-Con teaser. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make with all this rambling is that Boba Fett dropped. It's an amazing trailer. Go check it out. But it made me think about all of the trailers and teasers that we have gotten throughout the years for Star Wars. So I'm going to do a little look back, a little look-see. Look back at some of the favorites. I'm not going to do a top 10 or anything like that, but just no particular order. Some of the really cool teasers, trailers that we've gotten for Star Wars films and Star Wars media. I'm not going to include video games, and I'm not going to include the animated shows. This is only films. And by extension, because it's live action, the shows, which we've only had 2 of, basically The Mandalorian, Season 1, Season 2, and now Book of Boba Fett. However, there is a rumor, and if you're listening to this later, you already know this, but by the time this episode drops, later in the week, we might be getting a trailer for Obi-Wan. So that's another exciting thing that's happening in the world of Star Wars. So trailers and teasers in Star Wars, oh man, they go together. I feel they've always been around. I mean, even with the original Star Wars, 1977, there was a teaser. It had that weird music and that weird narration. It showed like various little random clips where some of the special effects weren't even completed. You see like a quick glimpse of like Darth Vader and Obi-Wan clashing lightsabers, and the rotoscoping hadn't been done yet. You just see them with like these white rods smacking them, and it's such a weird teaser because it's like, man, like this actually got people excited to go see Star Wars. It was such a doom and gloom and weird teaser, really. But then after that, there have been so many trailers for Star Wars because the movie was re-released so many times in the late 70s and early 80s, leading up to The Empire Strikes Back. And even The Empire Strikes Back teaser was another weird one. Instead of having a doom and gloom voice, it had almost like this like slapstick voice trailer narration where he's like, Han Solo, this is loud. They destroyed the Death Star, but that's not the end of the story. Like, I swear that's what it sounds like. Every time I hear it, it literally reminds me of that character from Airplane. The clouds are getting thicker. And Leon's getting larger. If you've ever seen that movie, Airplane, it's an old movie. Hilarious movie. Probably inappropriate to today's standards of politically correctness. But that teaser for Empire Strikes Back is just so silly. The voice is so silly, I should say. And I just remember, I was born in 1980, so I never got to see any of these films, the Star Wars, Empire, or Jedi in theaters, nor did I ever see these teasers like when they were released or whatever. But you watched them after the fact. You've seen them on like special features on on DVD sets and on YouTube and stuff. But that Empire teaser, you got to check it out. I think it might even be on Disney Plus. I'm not sure, but definitely here on YouTube. Again, they show a couple weird little scenes. They do this cool little animation with the pictures of the stars of the film, because they didn't really have much to show, I guess, when they made this teaser. And then, of course, there's Revenge of the Jedi. Revenge of the Jedi. The most intense teaser trailer yet, because of the title of the movie. Yes, Revenge of the Jedi. That was another one. That one at least used some of the John Williams score and made it a little fun. But of course, it was a teaser for a movie that the title would then change to Return of the Jedi. So, again, just 3 very interesting, unique teasers. And then, of course, there were regular trailers that then were released later on. But now, if we fast forward, and then there've been a lot of commercials and teasers for the re-release of the films, and when they were released and re-released on VHS tape for home media. But the teasers that really, really, I think, started it off, for me at least. Now, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. What are the teasers for Star Wars films that stand out to you as like, this is amazing? For me, it was the teaser trailers for the Star Wars Special Edition. Back in 1997, when I first saw the teaser for the Special Edition, oh boy! I actually saw the first teaser on television. It was a commercial, and it was that, you see a tiny little TV, and it says, for generations, people have experienced Star Wars the only way it's been possible, on the TV screen. But if you've only seen it this way, you haven't seen it at all. And then you see this X-Wing like fly through the little TV into your TV, and it's just like, boom. And the thing the big takeaway, I think, aside from the fact that, oh my gosh, they're re-releasing Star Wars, these are the special edition, there's special scenes in them, they look new, but just overall the movie looked newer. Obviously they went back, they cleaned the negatives, they did all kinds of stuff to make these films pristine, because they were gonna deteriorate. Am I saying that right? And they needed to like kind of fix these films, the stock of these films, before they were lost forever, and basically like digitally scanned them and stuff. That teaser, the fact that we were getting Star Wars, and then on February 7th or whatever, The Empire Strikes Back, and on March whatever, Return of the Jedi. They were going to release them back to back to back, 1 month after another, January, February, March. And that was the best way. That was the best way to start 1997. That was just amazing to me. As a New Yorker and as a fan of the New York Yankees, the Yankees had just won the '96 World Series. That was an amazing year as a fan. And on top of that, I spent the bulk of that summer of '96 with my family. We had just bought a house in the mountains upstate New York, and we spent like the whole summer just like fixing up the house, and and just like going up there every weekend and staying up there weeks at a time throughout the summer. And that was also the summer that Independence Day came out. That was like one of the biggest summer blockbusters of all time, and that movie was just so amazing. It was like it was like a Star Wars in a sense, because after that film came out, you had all these other like giant blockbuster end of the world type movies, come out. Like, they had Armageddon and Deep Impact and all these other giant blockbuster movies trying to capitalize on the success of Independence Day. So 96 was already an amazing year for me personally, and just, in general. And then you get the promise that Star Wars was coming in 97. That was just a real treat. And, when I've told this story before, and then I went to the theater to see A New Hope with my brother, special edition, and the teaser right before the movie, they teased Empire and Jedi, which was also a great teaser. Probably my favorite. And then, of course, after that, in March, we went to go see, in February, we went to go see Empire Strikes Back. And what do they tease? There's a teaser for Return of the Jedi. So that was, I think, the moment that I think, I don't know, I suspect that like Lucasfilm, because of the popularity of those teasers and how well they did, that's why, like, when the teaser for Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, dropped, it was like a phenomenon. People went to go see Meet Joe Black, some creepy, long, boring Brad Pitt movie. People bought tickets to see that movie just because the teaser for Episode 1 was right before that film, and people would literally buy a ticket, go watch the teaser on the big screen, and then walk out. They didn't even stay for that film, Meet Joe Black, which I've since watched that film. It is extremely boring, extremely long, and it's a black hole of a film. But anyway, I think, to me, the teasers for the special edition are what made the teaser, in part, what made the teaser for Phantom Menace that much more important. We all knew we were all going to be salivating over what this teaser was going to be. But when you really think about it, they didn't need to release a teaser, They could have waited a couple more months and released a trailer, But I think the teaser became so, as far as like for the special edition films, they were just such a important part of like just building up that hype for Star Wars, that making a teaser for the Phantom Menace was a no-brainer, and it worked. It was huge. That teaser, I remember downloading that thing. It took all night for my dial-up connection to download a 480p version of that trailer. It was a tiny little thing that would play on QuickTime, and I would watch that thing over and over and over. And see, unfortunately, I think the teaser for the Phantom Menace, it helped build the hype and the excitement for Star Wars, but it also, I think, hurt the film, The Phantom Menace. I think it hurt it in the sense that we as fans watched that teaser so many times, and the fact that the music in the teaser is all throwback music from the original trilogy, and we had just like come out of like the original trilogy love fest that we had with the special editions. They were released in 97. They were later released, I don't know if it was that same year or the following summer. I think it was that same year. They were then released on VHS tape. It was just this huge thing. Like 97 was all about Star Wars. The toys were out. They were being re-released. 98 was like, oh my gosh, this teaser. And we spent the rest of that 98 year watching and rewatching that teaser. And because it had music from the original trilogy, specifically The Empire Strikes Back, we created this narrative in our head of what we were expecting from this movie. We were expecting The Empire Strikes Back. We were expecting like this drama. We were expecting, Sith. If you rewatch that teaser, there are even hints that Anakin might turn bad within the context of that film. You know? We didn't know who Darth Maul was. We didn't know, who Qui-Gon was, or we didn't know anything. But it was so exciting, and the music made it exciting. That teaser hyped that movie beyond what that movie could ever perform. So that was the thing. Now, Attack of the Clones comes, the teaser for Attack of the Clones, on the other hand, I think that was a really great teaser as well. But it never lived up to the excitement of Phantom Menace. It was exciting that we were getting new Star Wars, but for some reason I remember it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know in the comments if you remember during that time. I just remember like the StarWars.com website became more active leading up to Attack of the Clones. They would release these little vignettes. They would release little images every now and then. And so by the time the teaser came out, it was just like, it was exciting. Again, using music from Empire and other little themes from the original trilogy within that trailer. But when you look at the teaser and you look at what we got, the teaser was more exciting. And again, I think it hyped the movie, but it also hurt it. The only teaser that I think really worked is the teaser for Revenge of the Sith, because right off the bat, it teases Darth Vader. We knew we were going to get Darth Vader, and we did get Darth Vader in that movie in the final moments of Revenge of the Sith. I think the only thing that I thought I was fully expecting the Revenge of the Sith to basically show Anakin already going down the Darth path. I mean, and it kind of did, but I thought the first half of the movie was basically going to be Darth Vader, was going to be Anakin just like going bananas. And then the latter half of the movie, I thought he was just going to be Darth Vader for that rest of the movie. Like I thought it was going to be him. Something happens to him in the opening of the movie, and by the middle of the movie, him and Obi-Wan, go at it, and he becomes Darth Vader. And then I thought like at least the last quarter of the movie would be Darth Vader basically killing off all the other Jedi, like coming back for that revenge of the Sith. It didn't play out that way, which is fine. It's definitely the most popular of the prequel films. It has the most drama. It has the most connected tissue to the original trilogy, and I think that's why it stands out. And the teaser for that basically showed that. So I think it was a very accurate teaser. Like the expectations were, I think, met in a sense. Now, fast forward, the next teaser trailer that I think blew everybody's mind, including mine, was 2014. I think it was like around November that we got the teaser for The Force Awakens. And from the opening shot, you just hear this like John Williams, hurry, hurry up, something's happening type of music. It's original music. It's not from any of the other films. And you see a Finn, the stormtrooper, in the desert. You hear the audio cues and the visuals just did a number on us as fans, because it was like we didn't know what to expect. What is this new Star Wars going to be about? And from the little visuals that we got, it was like, wow, this is going to be Star Wars. We see a desert, we see a stormtrooper, we see the Millennium Falcon, we see X-Wings, we see a lightsaber, we see a Sith Lord, a masked dude, we see a droid bippity-boppeting on a wheel. He's round, he's not R2-D2. this was like, wow, this is like new Star Wars. This is the next generation of Star Wars. That trailer really conveyed everything really well. The film, on the other hand, ended up being like a throwback movie to A New Hope. Excuse me, and and it is what it is. Love it or hate it, but love or hate the sequels trilogy. You got to admit that teaser was exciting to watch. Excuse me. So, and then some honorable mentions to the Last Jedi teaser. With Luke Skywalker saying it's time for the Jedi to end at the end. Very dramatic, and again, the teaser was very dramatic, and the movie ended up being very, very, very controversial. And the same thing with Revenge of the Rise of Skywalker. Excuse me, Rise of Skywalker, same thing. I don't think those teasers really did anything to help or hurt the movie. I think at that point there was so much controversy, I guess, with these movies, and so really the only one that really stands out to me is the The Force Awakens. So really, for me, like the special edition teasers, the Phantom Menace teaser and the Force Awakens teaser, those are the ones that stand out to me as like the best teaser trailers for Star Wars. But then a couple years ago, we got this teaser trailer for The Mandalorian Season 1. We didn't know it was Season 1. We didn't know what we were going to get. And the funny thing is that, originally this was supposed to be a Star Wars story. I mean, when we got Rogue One, which, by the way, had an amazing teaser trailer as well, even though a lot of it didn't appear in the movie. And I think that's why I'm not really focusing on that teaser. As exciting as it was disappointing because a lot of the excitement that you saw in that trailer, in that teaser, ended up not in the movie. Like, you don't see Jyn Erso in that tunnel like you see her in the teaser. You don't see them running on the beach with like the plans and like at hand. And an AT-AT walking around or whatever above them. You don't see Krennic on the shore, with a blaster like you saw in the teaser. You don't see what's his name, Forrest Whitaker. You don't see, I forgot, I can't even remember his name, but you don't see him the same like you see him in the film. Like, he's completely different. It's just that teaser was like another film that we never got to see. So I don't really consider that a good example of a good Star Wars teaser, because it was a good Star Wars teaser for a Star Wars movie we didn't get. Not to say that Rogue One wasn't a great movie. It was. It's probably my favorite of the Disney era films, Star Wars films. It's probably my favorite. And then there was Solo, and for the life of me, I can't even remember. I need to actually go back and try to see what the teaser for Solo was. I just remember it was very different. It was like the music was different. It was, it didn't seem like a Star Wars teaser. It seemed like this was like I don't know. It didn't vibe with me. It seemed almost like a fan film teaser trailer. But yeah, The Mandalorian though. Great teaser. The funny thing is that Mandalorian was supposed to be a Boba Fett film. It was supposed to be a Boba Fett film. It was supposed to be a Boba Fett film, and we were supposed to get an Obi-Wan film. I mean, these were the things that were planned out. I mean, there's even there's images of like presentations that they did, and they showed like all these movies that they're gonna have lined up, and because of how underperformance the critics and just the critiques of the sequel trilogy, I think, made these other films not happen. And so the Boba Fett film became The Mandalorian. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, man, I tip my hat to them, because they took an idea and they ran with it and they made it into something amazing, and they have slowly made that something amazing into something even more amazing, because it has such connected tissue to the sequel trilogy that we all want. I mean, to the point where we got to see Luke Skywalker be Luke Skywalker. It was in that final moment of season 2. Amazing. The teaser for The Mandalorian, great teaser. You don't really get a lot of information. Most of the scenes that you see, the clips, are basically from the first few episodes. So, and what's great is that it doesn't even it doesn't ruin the surprise of Grogu, of Baby Yoda. So, great teaser. But now, the piece de resistance. What do we think of this Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett teaser trailer that we got? I don't even consider it a teaser. I think it's like a regular, I think that's just a trailer, because it's a TV show. They can't really release too many teasers or trailers for it. So this is it. I think this might be what we're getting. There might be like another version, an international version that comes out. And we might get shorter versions, like as the show gets closer, that might include a couple quick little shots here and there that we haven't seen. But for the most part, this is like the main dish, this teaser that we're seeing here for the Book of Boba Fett. And all in all, I think it was amazing. I think it sets the tone for what the show is going to be. And man, I'm excited. Because it seems like it's going to be kind of like a gangster underworld show, and it's drawing in a lot of abandoned ideas. You know, we were going to get a Boba Fett show. It became The Mandalorian. We were going to get a Star Wars Underground type show. We were going to get a video game called 1313, which is about like the underworld of Star Wars, with a Boba Fett type character in it. And I think they took all those ideas, they resurrected them, and they're slowly putting them into Mandalorian and into this Book of Boba Fett show. So I hope we get flashbacks. I hope we get, you know, answers to questions that we've always wanted to know, like how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, and man, you know, a little bit more about his history and why he's had such a change of heart in the way that he is. You know, he was just such a ruthless bounty hunter and angry. I mean, he was an angry kid. His dad's head got chopped off by a Jedi, and then he tried to have revenge on him during the Clone Wars, and he failed. And he's had bounty hunters double cross him and betray him throughout the years, and you know, it's forced him to become this loner, and this cold-hearted loner that doesn't care about anyone. But it seems like he does have a code, and he you know, he's trying to live by it, even though even like the Mandalorians don't really take him seriously as one of their own. They just consider him some clone, you know, some whatever clone of Jango, and you know, whatever. But it's amazing. Like he has this code and this honor that he wants to live up to and honor, you know. And say what you will about Jango Fett. I mean, I guess he wants to do things, again, I guess, make him proud in a way, which is kind of weird. But anyway, I'm excited. I can't wait. And we might be getting an Obi-Wan teaser coming soon. So it's the teaser and Star Wars. It's something that go hand in hand, you know. And I think it's because of the effectiveness that they were used for the special edition, and then later for the prequel trilogy, that I think has made the Star Wars teaser something that you need. And you do, I didn't mention them, but you do see these teasers come up during, you know, even for Clone Wars, even for the animated shows, even for Rebels, you see teasers that help elevate the excitement for what's to come. And I think they're effective. I think they're great. we get to watch them and analyze them and do a whole podcast episode about them. It's great. It's great. So let me know in the comments below. Hit me up on Instagram at Jedi Toy Masters. What is your favorite teaser for Star Wars? What's your favorite teaser and why, man? Give us your explanation. Let us know in the comments below. Hit me up a DM or, you know, and let's start a conversation. Let's start a debate. Which one is the best? What's the best Star Wars teaser? Not trailer, teaser. And why? Give your arguments. Bring evidence. Exhibits. Exhibit A and Exhibit B. Let us know why. And as always, guys, I hope you check out some of our other videos here on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. I want to do more lives on Instagram and definitely be more active on there. But, you know, it's just a great community over there. Toy lovers, Star Wars toy lovers of all kinds. And it's a great community. It's a great little family we got going over there. And here on YouTube, you know, we got some videos, we got some toy hunts, we got some toy shows, we got some toy unboxings, and there's more to come. I keep saying that, but yes, there's more to come. This has been a very interesting year. I mean, obviously last year with the pandemic and everything going on, and then this year a lot of changes. You know, we recently moved, so we soon will be broadcasting from our Jedi Toy Master studios. And more videos to come because of that. So hope you guys have a great week. Looking forward to that Obi-Wan teaser. And Cassian Andor, we should be getting a teaser for that as well. That show I think is probably almost wrapped. And so it's very exciting. Very exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. Don't hate, just love. You know, there's enough room for all of us as fans. You know, even those of us, including myself, that weren't happy with the sequel trilogy. There's still so much more to love for Star Wars in Star Wars. So, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And remember,
The Force will be with you, always.